They uncovered shocking secrets about the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Few knew what truly happened that night when the skies darkened and the earth trembled. Legend spoke of four figures, each cloaked in mystery and terror, riding through history with purposes beyond mortal understanding. Each horseman, a harbinger of fate, wielded powers that could topple nations and send shivers through the bravest hearts. The first horseman rode a white steed, brandishing a bow, an eerie echo of conquest. His presence incited fear yet ignited hope. Or was it merely deception masked as salvation? Whispers echoed. Who would follow him into this unknown abyss? The second horseman, fiery red, swung a great sword, bringing conflict where there had been peace. The blood of brother and brother spilled on parched earth. How many dreams were shattered under the weight of his steel? People trembled, dreading the next battle, clutching their loved ones tighter. Then, the third horseman appeared, cloaked in black, holding a scale. His arrival spelled out famine. With each balanced measure, more souls were twisted in despair. The cries of children echoed in empty homes, while parents prayed for mercy. Could vain hope quench such dire hunger? Lastly, the pale horse bore the figure of death himself. His hollow gaze and silent presence sent cold shivers down spines. Villagers fled at the whisper of his name. Was this the end? The promise of doom loomed over each heart, waiting to strike fear with every tick of the clock as the town witnessed this unfolding chaos. A gripping silence settled. Gasps and murmurs filled the air. How could they understand the depth of these horses and their riders? What ancient truths lay buried beneath the surface, waiting to be revealed? Sparked by fear and curiosity, would they dare to unravel the secrets of the apocalypse that seemed to swallow their very existence? Hey! Before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon, and while you're there, smash that like button. It really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. The air hung thick with anxiety as the townsfolk gathered, hearts racing, eyes scanning the horizon for more signs of the ominous riders. Daylight waned, casting long shadows that mirrored the trepidation in their souls. Whispers of old prophecies wove through the gathering crowd, their fear transforming into a desperate search for understanding. Among the onlookers was a humble scribe named Ezra, an unassuming man. He possessed an insatiable curiosity about the divine workings of the world. He watched the figures of the horsemen fading into the distance, each one sending ripples of dread through the very fabric of their reality. Determined to grasp their meaning, Ezra retreated into the quiet of his modest dwelling. A flickering oil lamp illuminating ancient scrolls and fragmented parchments scattered about as he pored over texts. One particular passage captured his attention, speaking of a celestial alignment that heralded the coming of the horsemen. When the stars align in the skies above, it read, the balances of power will shift, revealing the true intentions cloaked in shadows. Intrigued, Ezra traced his fingers over the faded calligraphy, his heart racing with the weight of possible revelations. Might there be a way to unveil their secret? Restless thoughts coursed through his mind. Yet among the chaos, a softness bloomed in the corners of his heart, a lingering sense of hope. He recalled the tales woven into the fabric of his people, the stories of resilience, faith, and redemption throughout their history. Could these riders, terrifying as they were, also serve a greater purpose? In their presence, was there an invitation to wakefulness or transformation? Curiosity guided him back outside, where the townsfolk remained transfixed, emotions swirling among them: fear, anger, resignation. Across the weakened horizon, a new light glistened. Darkness mingled with the faintest hint of dawn. Could this be a sign? Ezra approached a small cluster of villagers gathered to share their fears and speculations. Friend, he called out to a trembling woman nearby, have you considered what lies beneath the fear of these riders? Perhaps, buried within the chaos, lies a call to return to the foundations of our faith, to embody compassion and unity in the face of despair. The whisper of his words hung in the air, drawing nods and murmurs of contemplation. One elder, her eyes seasoned with age and wisdom, held his gaze. "Scribe, do not believe that understanding comes easily during tribulation. Faith demands a journey through uncertainty. Yet your voice speaks of a deeper inquiry. What if, by facing these horsemen, we confront not only our fears but also our shared humanity?" Ezra felt the weight of her words sink into the marrow of his bones. Could it be that the chaos wrought by the horsemen was not an ending but a catalyst for something profound, a collective awakening? Hope ignited within the crowd, but the dance of shadows persisted, holding the promise of further revelations as days turned into nights. Cries of anguish and prayers for deliverance filled the air, yet life unfolded. Families gathered to share their meals. Music drifted through the streets in defiance of despair. They sought balance in their hearts, hoping that perhaps the arrival of the horsemen was a reminder of life's fragile threads woven by both triumph and tribulation. Ezra pondered these moments, realizing the depth of the spiritual mystery that bathed their existence. Each horseman, he reflected, bore within them a duality. What if this journey was not a simple end, but a call to arms for love, unity, and understanding among the people? Had they the power within themselves to choose how to respond to the harbingers of fate? With the stars still twinkling overhead, allowing for both darkness and light to coexist, Ezra felt a profound presence nudging his heart. Would they rise together and uncover the transformative path laid out before them, or would they succumb to the terrors that threatened to divide them? As the figures of the horsemen loomed over their lives, the question remained: could they discern the delicate dance between fear and faith, chaos and hope, and ultimately, life and death? As the days turned into weeks, the ominous presence of the riders grew heavy in the hearts of the townsfolk. A peculiar energy enveloped their lives, as if the world itself held its breath, waiting for the revelation that seemed just out of reach. Ezra, now consumed with thoughts of the riders, felt a thirst for understanding that pushed him to delve deeper into his sacred texts and the histories of their ancestors. One evening, as a silvery moon bathed the village in ethereal light, Ezra ventured to the old well at the center of town, a place that had borne witness to countless stories and whispered prayers. He was reminded of the sayings attributed to scholars long past, that within the depths of stillness lies the clarity needed to perceive divine truth. Kneeling beside the well, he closed his eyes and sought a moment of quietude to clear the cacophony of anxiety swirling in his mind with each breath. He envisioned the cycles of creation and destruction woven into the very essence of their existence. He recalled the biblical tales of trials faced by their forefathers: the flood, the plagues, the wanderings through the wilderness, and how each calamity had ultimately led to deeper wisdom. Were the riders an echo of these stories? Was history repeating itself, or was it charting a new course? As these reflective thoughts engulfed him, he felt an unexpected tug on his spirit, as if the air itself vibrated with an ancient song, one that spoke of eternal cycles. Drawing in a sharp breath, Ezra opened his eyes and peered into the well's depths. There, amidst the still waters, a vision emerged, a fleeting silhouette dancing on the surface, flickering with possibilities yet unanswered. It bore distinct forms that resembled each horseman. The white stallion, proud and bright; the red horse, fierce and chaotic; the black horse, heavy with burden; and the pale horse, a haunting reminder of mortality. A shiver coursed through Ezra as the realization washed over him. What if the horsemen were not merely harbingers of doom, but reflections of the human experience, the triumphs and tragedies that define their lives? The notion filled him with a concoction of dread and hope. He had witnessed the respect that many in the village afforded life in its fragility, yet how often had they acknowledged the light amidst the dark? Compelled by these thoughts, Ezra returned to the heart of the village the following day. The air was tense, thick with uncertainty, yet he felt an urgency to share what had stirred within him. Climbing to a small platform that overlooked the gathering of fearful faces, he called out, "Beloved friends, I beseech you to listen. The horsemen may indeed carry shadows of destruction, but they also represent our deepest fears and our clearest truths. Within their presence lies an invitation, a challenge to embody the very virtues we hold dear. Skepticism flickered among the crowd. Some turned away, unwilling to entertain hope. Yet others leaned in, curiosity piqued by his passionate fervor. The White Rider may be a beacon of hope, but also a reminder of the delusions of pride. The Red Horse might incite war, but we can choose peace. The Black Steed brings famine, yet we can nurture abundance through compassion. And the Pale Horse reminds us of mortality, pushing us towards a more meaningful existence. Can we see their duality, even the shadows they cast? Will we rise? A murmur spread through the assembled people, voices reflecting a blend of anxiety and contemplation. The elder woman Ezra had spoken to before stepped closer, her eyes shining with understanding. You speak truth, scribe, but words alone will not shift the tide. We must transform this awareness into action. We must reclaim our spirits and unite our hands to navigate the darkness that seeks to envelop us. Ezra's heart raced. They stood at a crossroads, where fear held them captive, yet they might also find freedom through unity and shared purpose. Could the collective resolve of those gathered begin to unravel the mysteries that now bound them? The answer lingered in the air, whispering of possibility as dusk unfolded before them. And as the last vestiges of light dimmed, Ezra recalled a question posed by the ancient texts. In the face of despair, what will you choose to create? The weight of it hung palpably in the night. It resonated within him like a drum beating against the depths of the human spirit. The riders loomed ever closer, yet the true struggle was not with them, but within themselves. Would they embrace the challenge? With the night deepening around the village, shadows danced among the low walls and the flickering torches. Ezra felt the collective apprehension in the hearts of the townsfolk swell and intermingle like wind stirring dry leaves. As he stood beneath the ancient oak that had weathered countless storms, he hoped to draw from its enduring strength and pass this resilience on to the people. Days passed in a blur, during which murmurs of fear persisted, but so too did the whispers of curiosity that Ezra had ignited. Driven by a newfound purpose, he returned to his scrolls each evening, poring over prophecies and histories that spoke of conflict and redemption. He sought to uncover the fullness of the allegories that encompassed the riders, understanding that they were not mere specters of doom, but symbolic manifestations of humanity's struggles. One twilight, as the sky blushed with indigo hues, Ezra noticed something, a shift in the energies that lay thick around them. He gathered a group of villagers, those whose hearts he sensed were still open. Among them were the elder woman, Yuri, whose wisdom had previously stirred him, and a young boy named Malachi, known for his unyielding spirit and courage. They convened near the well, the sacred spot that had begun to feel like an altar for divine revelations. I've spent countless hours uncovering the texts, Ezra began, looking earnestly at their eager faces. We often view the riders as foes, manifestations of chaos. But could it be that they are also teachers? Each rider can guide us, if only we are willing to listen. Yuri nodded solemnly. Just as storms renew the earth, perhaps these trials give birth to deeper truths. But how do we harness this knowledge? Malachi, with the innocent fervor of youth, interjected, what if we confront them? If they arise from within us, we should face them, right? Can we use our fears as stepping stones instead of chains?